Hello and welcome. We have a windy but very polarizing show today.
Polarizing?
Is
it's
that the right
polarizing. We really got into it. You won't know which way to go or who to support, what to do. We really got into heated debates, and
crazy,
now
man.
we're arch enemies.
And let's just say that a little bit comes out about a certain SJP, Sarah Jessica Parker, that you'd have to not be criminally insane to not want to hear. Double negative.
We didn't
positive.
talk about it that much. It's just a juicy tagline to get you guys to pay attention.
Or maybe
Sarah
it's
Jessica
really
Parker.
actually juicy and he's just holding back.
I am. I'm sorry. Right. It's a really good one.
So we
It's
got a
about
couple cool things. We have
The buzzword of the day.
buzzwords all day.
We have a buzzwords.
We have buzzwords. We have SEO. We have words. We have talking. We have emotion.
We are casting a podcast now. We
we
welcome
have
to
everything you can want and
TrMF.
more words.
And
set
remember,
with tone.
He's doing it, folks.
This is a podcast.
He's alive.
Yeah,
He's getting a personality right in front of your eyes.
recreating what is real. What is
And
not.
remember, when they ask, these
Tell 'em.
are my friends.
Tell them these are my friends.
Fuck. Is tell them, isn't it?
Tell them.
Tell them.
Tell them.
These are my friends.
Welcome to the podcast. My name's Dylan. This is Dan.
And I'm Will Arnett, and these are my friends. No,
Oh, yeah.
it's Dan again.
I love that guy.
Now, I was talking about systems of magic because I was writing a system of magic earlier.
Is that your Will Arnett?
No, I accidentally stopped recording.
Oh, shit.
No, I stopped recording for a second. I'll fix it.
Okay.
I'm back.
Will Arnett does not know how to use technology, or is that
Will,
Alfred
get outta
Hitchcock?
Yeah, great Canadian chap.
So what do we got on today? First, we talk about smells, how they correlate to memories and how they bring you back to certain times, and just the science behind it and how strong it actually is. And we reminisce about some childhood memories and the whole fun factor of a certain smell when I was young. How come never able to identify where it's coming from?
Where the fuck is that smell coming from?
The second part we talk about is murders on murder
I was going to say
movies.
the smell of the set of Psycho,
Yeah.
where
So we get
Vincent
into
Price
some
was not anywhere.
crazy stories, Alfred Hitchcock style. We get into some crazy stories of actual true creepy things that happened on horror sets back in the day, and I talk about some ones that you might not have heard of, but not the
That's a
typical
crazy
ones.
one.
So
Actually, that one about Alfred Hitchcock, that's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's pretty insane. So yeah, you want to stay around for that. We talk about a neuroscience using LSD ?
Yeah, a
To
neuroscientist
try and
is
fix
exploring.
some problematic issues with I don't know, living old, getting old.
It's not problematic with living. I don't know what you said, but it's basically just
I need it now.
somebody trying to go back in time, basically in the mind's timeline or whatever, and basically go back before a cerebral event like an aneurysm or something would have occurred and try to reset the brain to the time
But if you
before
want to
that
know more,
occurred.
you have to listen to the whole story.
But I just said the whole thing. We'll clip that out.
There's no point in listening anymore.
Okay, this is a shit show. Let's just let the story start.
Yeah,
Just let the program begin.
let's just do it. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Always have fun. That's what we say here at TrMF Podcast.
Dan.
No.
Danielson.
Yo,
No, yo.
what's up? Yo.
Oh,
This
you
is
know,
the Yo, thanks for tuning in to TrMF Podcast, where
Dylan creeps
looking
the
weird
fuck
is
out of
half
his
the
chair.
battle. That's no. That we got to come up with a saying. We got to come up with one of these days. I think looking weird is half the battle is probably not a good placeholder. We'll just wait.
Haircuts are optional.
No, they're not. No, dude.
You could
Not
do
for
that.
me. They're not.
I need you to invest in a better seat, though. That's the one thing I need to do.
I need you to stop. Okay, we're going to open this one up with a moment of silence where everybody thinks about all of the incredible number of various cats right now licking their bellies. Okay, that's good. Good amount of time. Yeah, dude. So how you been? What's up? Good week?
Just slaying away work. just slaying
Just
it, dude.
crushing shit.
just doing
Just-
dope ass
I'm
shit.
just fucking destroying shit, dude. What about you, man?
Yeah, man. What about you? Yeah, could you relate?
It's just like the most like underwhelming like Just slaying shit.
Just kind of slaying
Doing a little
shit.
bit of slaying shit, I guess.
No, like I don't know, just sweating. You know, taking in oxygen. You know, drinking lots of water.
Perspiring.
Yeah, I do be perspiring. Yeah, I be right now actually.
Damn, it is getting warmer out there, folks.
It's a toasty Thursday afternoon.
Did you know that right down the road from here, as I was driving here, that there was like some sort of block party thing going on? And there was.
I wasn't invited.
And also wasn't, even though I grew up in this neighborhood. And my parents were there. I saw actually.
No
I
way.
drove by very fast, but no, I'm just
quick,
kidding.
get out.
No, actually, they almost witnessed a dude just drive right through the stop sign, and right in front of me. And I know that it's like obviously there's like a lot going on right now in the neighborhood. There's like a huge there's like 100 people over there, like actually like standing
what?
right down there. Yeah,
Jesus.
they're standing there, and there some lady was playing some sort of country tunes
Just
for everybody. They're just having like a bash,
on a Thursday.
bit of a bash on the Thursday. Well, the crowd that was down there
Thursday
looked pretty.
hootenanny?
They looked pretty retired. I'm gonna say that
I guess every day is Thursday.
every day is Thursday when you're retired, man.
That's right.
That's what they say. Oh my God, TRMF.
Thursday,
Every day is
Thursday.
Thursday. No, I can't. No, that's not good.
It will come naturally, just like tech deck and all that other stuff.
The tech
Speaking
deck.
of tech deck,
Oh, yo, do you get it? Do you got a tech deck?
actually I do, but I want to talk about that later because it connects to something. So,
Oh, we gotta wait to
We
make
got-
the
we got a
tech deck
cliffhanger.
connect.
but the tech deck is actually something. It's pretty. How do you say hallucinogenic?
Oh, all right. Okay, I'm down for the thing that's hallucinogenic.
But first,
But first things first.
I come to you with a story of smell. So today I was working, and I'm a shopkeep, so I deal with customers. And mind the old timey language. And a guy came in, and he smelled exactly like a Greyhound bus.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking
I know
about?
The one. Yeah, actually,
know
I
that
could
smell?
totally know that smell. Okay,
Greyhound bus smell.
so is there a little bit of gasoline in that smell?
I don't know what
Like
it
the
is.
old
It's the
plastic
seats.
seat? Yeah.
It's the whole thing, but it's just a Greyhound bus. I don't know if it's all buses or specifically Greyhound buses, but he smelled like it. He just smelled like it, and it just woof. I remember being 6 years old on a Greyhound bus going to the interior in British Columbia. Took us about 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, I think, actually. It was a long bus ride. And instantly
God
came
damn,
back.
did it ever smell like a bus by the
Yeah,
end?
and he was just some old dude that smelled like a bus.
Dude, you're making it smell like bus in here.
Get out.
Open a window. Dude.
But then that made me think of just the science behind attaching memories to sense, essentially.
What's the most powerful one, right?
Actually, yeah. What is, well,
It's sensually.
yeah, I mean, that's half my story that you
Did I jump ahead? I'm sorry.
No,
no,
it's all
no.
good. My notes.
Good. Yeah, let me sidestep for a quick thing. When you said that about the bus, I was like, okay, there's not everybody in the future here is going to know what it's like to burn the shit out of their hand on a metal seatbelt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you pull it over and it only goes so far, and you're like, will this hurt me a lot when we crash? Like, this will cut me right in half when I
and
crash.
it's
And
scalding beyond your
and just to grab it and put it
grandest
together,
beliefs.
you grab with your shirt. And
Yeah,
shit, click
that
it in there,
weird metal-
and then you
but they still
get that
do
little
buses.
piece of your thumb right here in the buckle.
And they-
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, just for safety.
Do you ever take one of those for a long joyride, or you know what I mean, like a vacation trip? But you're
long
not
bus
rich,
trip?
so you're not like, yeah, hey, my family's like home alone. I get to go on an airplane with everybody. It's like, no, I get to ride the bus.
We used to just take the helicopter wherever we
Oh,
went.
shit.
If we
Yeah, what
went
does that smell
camping,
like I wouldn't know. I'm a peasant.
yeah. Yeah. Oh no, we'll just yacht over to the island. It's fine. But yeah, no, definitely not.
Just
not
for
the case.
kicks. Yeah.
Oh
But
man.
it's
can't know.
it's so hard to get a bus these days. I don't think because the Greyhound station that we had in Victoria, BC, is gone.
Well, no, but we have actually. When you mention that, it's kind of funny. We should appreciate the local business that is Wilson's Transportation, because they would take us everywhere and all the schools, right? And actually,
To like mountain skiing trips.
yeah, that's
mountain
probably the
skiing
longest. Yeah, to the mountain skiing trip.
I am not AI.
I have a real friend.
Yeah,
It's not
So
Dylan.
this
He's
guy,
made
this
up.
guy.
Yeah.
Wilson's, I guess, smelled pretty. I don't know. There's something about the Greyhound, man. It just gets me,
Greyhound bus.
But Anyways, the dude smelled like, so it made me think of like why that is. So anyways, I'm gonna go into kind of the science little thing about it. And hopefully this isn't all totally out of whack.
I liked the musty smell of the tent trailer when we would go camping. I'm like, it smells like it's been, a piece of canvas that's been packed up for an entire year and had rain on it. But it's like,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
comforting,
about. Because it's just it associates with good
think
memories.
about the rain on the tent trailer or on a tent. Like,
yeah, 100%. There's a list of them that I was like trying to think of today. But so it's called olfaction. It's just a fancy word for our sense of smell. Even though the connection between olfaction and memory is rarely thought about, it actually is very important. Odor-linked memories can be extremely powerful. In the laboratory, researchers asked participants to smell different odors and see what sorts of memories come to mind. The research then asked follow-up questions about each memory, such as whether it is clear versus fuzzy or emotional versus boring. It turns out that olfactory cues, smells, and odors are more effective at triggering clear and emotional memories than visual cues, such as images or photographs. In fact, older adults can remember much older memories with a smell than with a picture or words. So if Mr. Paraust saw a picture, I guess that was the doctor, of his favorite pastry and tea. Oh no, it's just some dude.
Example?
It was an example. That he dipped it in. He might not have had such a strong experience connecting to his childhood. No, it was something earlier in the thing. Apparently it's called olfaction or something. It's called that because of what this dude did. But anyways, long story short, so it's the strongest thing. Like you can remember more by smelling a scent that comes. So like me, vividly remembering me as like 7 years old on a bus. So that was 23 years ago on a bus riding the rails.
Wow.
All the way to Cranbrook.
Riding the bus rail.
Yeah. I see my memory sharp as a tack. Yeah. And yeah, no, it was crazy. So then I looked up just some like other weird things about it, and it was just like, oh, some celebrities have interesting smells.
Celebrities, you say?
Celebrities.
Okay.
That's good for the SEO, right? AI, not AI.
People love when we talk about celebrities.
Especially if you say it 5 times. Yes. Celebrities. Apparently, Sarah Jessica Parker. So
one of everybody's favorite celebrities.
25 years ago, damn it, my calculations, they're all off. Yeah. But apparently she loves the smell of diapers. I even like when they're wet and you smell them and they're all warm like baked goods. She likes dirty diapers. Ew, that's gross, Sarah Jessica Parker. She does kind of have that face that looks like she's always smelling a fart. Kind of, you know.
This is why.
I'm not trying to be mean. Yeah,
she's just like, oh yeah,
she's a very handsome
Someone's
lady. Yeah,
soiled around here. I don't know. I don't think she likes the poopy diaper. I think she just likes the smell of the package of diapers. No, but then she said warm and something rather. No,
Glamour did them dirty because Glamour
they
was
try
the
to make
website
it seem...
that I got that from, and it said, "Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker likes dirty diapers." And I clicked, and she literally all she said was, "I even like when they're wet and just like kind of smell like like a
SJP
cute
diaper sniffer."
Yeah,
like, wow.
She eats it too. I think just a little bit. Yeah.
We got everything we need now, folks. Yeah. Especially when we told you we would talk about celebrities on this show. That was juicy, wasn't it?
Oh, it was juicy in all the terms.
Wow. We got the inside
Both terms.
scoop.
Yum. That was a scoop.
Glamour.
That was a hot scoop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I bring it further. I digress further.
Do indeed could digress further. Away we
this
go.
Show is not written by AIs.
Whisk us away.
It would be a lot better if it was. So like classic smells that. So give me a head nod, or actually go or if you do like or don't like.
Like any sort of like a language indication.
An indication of agreement.
I'll try to respond to you.
Disagreement. Yes. So gasoline. What do you think of that smell? Thumbs up.
Love it.
Great smell.
Yeah.
Nail
and
polish.
by love it, I mean I don't mean I want to like stick my nose right in it. Too much is not good,
No.
But definitely everybody knows that one. You get the fumes of the gas station, or someone's engine that they're working on. Or
Brazilian fart porn. Oh wait, I mean,
what did
wrong
you say?
gas. No, nothing. Nail polish.
Don't love it. Don't love it. No, I mean,
I like it, and I think it's kind of lame. But it's like when I smell nail polish, it's like, oh, girls are around. And it's like back in the day, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, girls.
That's why I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, I like girls, man. I'm a boy. I like girls. Yeah. I'm 11 or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I kind of associate it with like, I like it. Cause it was just always like, I don't know. I was a shy, nervous wreck when I was 11-year-old kid. So it was just like, I could smell it. And then I was
You
just like,
flipped your
tee-hee and run
love
away.
of nail polish into being a super straight thing. Way to go.
And now it makes me rock hard. Rubbing alcohol.
Don't love it really. Kind of reminds me of needles.
Fair enough. I think it just reminds me of clean, and I like clean. So
Yeah, I prefer clean needles.
yeah, rubbing alcohol it's just like sterilization. Is that a word? Is that what we're
Yes.
gonna do to the human race?
Ooh,
No, wait,
sterile.
what?
I love it.
Sharpies. You ever
Yeah, kind of nice. The marker. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
huffing markers?
Yeah.
What about huffing glue? Glue just reminds me of fun time. It's like, okay,
Just do it for the
math,
taste.
Animal
Taste better.
crackers. It tastes good.
No,
That's on the next episode. We're
you're
talking
supposed to
about
sniff
smell.
it. He's eating all the glue.
We're not talking about taste. Chlorine.
Not bad. Not bad. Swimming is fun. Everybody likes the pool and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I think it's more. It's like the smell is here nor
It's
there. It's
clean
cool,
for
but
sure.
it's just like, oh, I'm about to go fucking do some dope ass flips into the pool.
Yeah.
and
It
life's
feels
great.
fresh and summery and
Yeah.
good somehow.
Yeah.
Chlorine feels like
and it's also sterilization. What
Thank
about a
you. Thankful for
bonfire?
it.
Ooh, big fire.
One of the best.
Yeah, that has
Come
to
on,
be
you
like
can't
hands
beat-
down, like a summer night.
Yeah.
The night's like coming and like it's like at that dawn, dusk. What's the night one?
What? Sorry. When it's becoming night is dusk.
When it's becoming night is
Yes.
dusk. Okay, yes, dusk. And see, I'm learning still.
We'll get him there.
And
Next
and it's just
is-
like the fire and the fun, you know. It's always associated It's always associated with good things. It's always associated with like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I like all these
Safety,
sort of things.
food.
Girls, swimming, freaking camping and partying. What
Yeah.
about a blown out match?
Also good.
It's great. It's sulfur and it's strong. So it's
nice,
usually when
yeah.
somebody just took a fat dump and then they like
Well,
are
that's
nice
not the
enough
good.
to
Now you just crossed up the smell with like everybody had to. Sorry, people.
actually, no,
we had a nice match. Oh no. Sorry. Do you like that or something? You're
fat
about to
dumps.
say.
Yeah.
Do you like the mix of the match
No, that's
mixed up with?
what my brain associates. Like I think of sulfur and I think of matches and I was like, oh, that's awesome. But then I also have that because I only ever smell burnt out matches. Because who uses matches anymore? What are we, John Wayne lighting a cigarette? Everybody has lighters. So like majority of the time I smell sulfur or a burning match is after somebody is like trying to really clear out a bathroom that they really cleared out. You know what I mean? So it goes hand in hand with.
Well, now
somebody took
everyone
a
is going to
dookie.
associate it. It's now instead of just lighting a candle like a normal person,
It's
you made it
dookie.
into a bathroom only
Dookie
situation.
smell, yeah.
No, people. There's matches that people light candles.
Yeah, no, it's sulfur is
right.
it's a comforting smell. It is. I'm not trying to ruin it for people.
You
Tennis
are
balls?
trying to ruin it for people. Don't let him fool you.
What about tennis balls? You open that tube.
Don't
and
ruin tennis balls either. Oh.
I didn't fart.
You
in
know
the
what?
jar.
It kind of
Yeah.
smells good. I never really thought about tennis balls being a smell. Totally.
They have one of the. I think they have one of the most
No, they do.
pungent smells.
They really do. I just
Yeah.
didn't really think of it until now. I totally can smell tennis balls right now thinking about it.
It's a whole waft of
It's really hard to describe it other than to just say what it is or
plastic.
what it's made of
Yeah,
or whatever.
or not plastic, whatever. I don't. Yeah, Teflon. I don't even know what it is, but yeah, it is. It's
not
a hard one, but
Teflon.
it's a unique one.
Bing. It's a good tennis game is terrifying. Got the cast iron.
Shot that right at me, bro. Yeah. And then the last one on my list is inflatable pool toys.
I don't know. I think there's other like plastics that kind of smell like that, so it's not really that great, I guess. I don't know. That's like
I don't know. It reminds me yet again of like there's a
get
certain
it.
smell of like
It's a good one.
because I had a pool in my complex that I lived in, and it made me really remember the summer and
chlorine,
swimming in that
for sure.
and
Yeah.
chlorine and the pool
That's a
toys
big
that we
one.
had. Yeah.
There's some obvious ones that everybody loves. The fresh cut grass, of course. That's going to take you back to good times. Especially if you think of it in like the twilight in just when it's late summer,
Right.
late summer after baseball or after
Yeah.
soccer or
man.
whatever.
Just
Everybody's cutting the
Literally
lawn and
the
like
easiest time your life will ever be.
no shit.
Yeah,
Hey, that's the
that
nicest
is
moment
no
right there.
stress. I'm getting a hot dog from the concession stand or
Yeah.
a burger.
Just
I'm having some
finished
candy, and
baseball
I'm
practice or
going home
we just
watching
won the
Family Guy.
game.
Yeah.
Sorry
life's
to
good.
talk over. Yeah, exactly. That's the sweet spot right there of life.
100%. And then these are a couple that I came up with. So those were just like ones I like, but I found them on a website of just like naturally like,
Before you read
popular.
it, petrichor. That's petrichor is that
Sounds like a company.
the smell of just after it rained.
On cement.
On the leaves or on cement even. Yeah, the petrichor.
Yeah.
That's called petrichor.
Jeez, petrichor. It sounds like a rad
It's
metal
a nice
band.
one.
So my mom's mom and dad,
Your grandma?
my grandma and my grandpa, yes.
Okay, yes.
Their basement has just like, I mean, I guess it's just like the smell of any dank basement.
No, the
It's
dusty
like an older house, but
I wonder what it specifically it is, because those I can smell like my grandma's basement too.
It just
and
had
there's
this
like a
certain in their house, just had this certain smell that anytime I ever smelt it, which was mainly only there.
asbestos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
That's why I can't remember a damn thing.
Oh, so nice.
My brain's all fucked up. Yeah, just inhaling that night after night. No, it's just this. Me, and my brother, my twin brother, we're just like boom, grandparents' basement or something like. Oh, it smells like grandparents' basement, like ours specifically. And I'm pretty sure it's just dank basement, but it smells like there's something a little extra there.
There's a certain age of basement. If it's like an 80s basement and it's got like maybe it's been renovated once or twice or something, it's got a certain smell to it, but way less so than like the 1950s built.
And I think it's 50s, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing where there's
just,
actual like a layer of dust somewhere.
And they kept just all their stuff in the same area. Yeah, so it just and then my dad's mom, my dad's dad, my grandpa and grandma on the other side.
Yeah.
Their apartments had this, like I remember these apartments in the West Kootenays where they lived, and it just smelled just spicy almost. I don't know, had a weird smell yet again. And it's only them.
Apartments have a certain smell.
Yeah, their
just
apartment.
Like, because there's mingling foods, right? Certain foods, like maybe someone's cooking onions somewhere. Like
Crazy.
So many, it doesn't really matter what culture, you're probably cooking with onions. So onions are one of the most, and garlic are like the most common things. So you're going to smell the distance of everybody's onion and garlic plus, right? And then that's what you're getting. And that's what lingers around. Plus, if it's of an age, when we would have been kids, there would have been smoking allowed like in the apartments. Right. So you get that after smoke mixed with the onions. That's kind of that specific. It's even got a little stubby like short carpet in the hallway and the elevator.
A hint of diarrhea because of all the onions and smoke they're digesting.
Everybody just ate smokes and onions, and it was a simpler time. What are we having for dinner? Silly question.
Smokes and onions, son.
Oh, it's so good.
Cigarettes and onions.
It's so nice to be alive in 1991. Oh.
That's all I ate, man. That's why
we used to look at each other and say, "This is as good as it'll get." And we were right. We knew in our hearts.
It was a Czech delicacy. Yeah,
that's right.
For sure.
Our moms would roll down the window when they smoked. Come on, they loved us.
They did. They for sure did.
My mom didn't actually smoke when I was alive, but
it's. I mean, but you're around it. And everybody at some
point. My grandma did though, and it was one of the smells actually was the cigarettes, the secondhand smoke. As a kid, you're like, I know they say it's bad for you, and I can see why they're telling me a lot because it smells kind of nice.
It is, like there is something comforting about smelling a cigarette once in a while. It kind of grosses me out now because I quit like 5 years ago.
If you've been a smoker and then you smell it on other people, you're like, ooh, I smelled like that. Holy shit, that it is kind of gross. Yeah, but there is a time when it nostalgically smells good.
Rolling around my dad's 1989 Ford F-150, listening to Van Halen 5150 Van Hagar technically, and just rocking out.
What happened to you? God.
My life was great growing up.
You used to be a legend, it sounds like.
Dude, it was the best times.
Oh, cigars. That's a good,
they could add
nostalgic.
To it. I like the smell of a cigar. That's classy.
That's one of those things that the smell might be better than the actual consumption of the thing. And I think, and I will raise this argument, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, bacon smells better than it tastes.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it tastes fantastic.
It tastes great. Yeah, but it smells just like
it might be
wakes you right out of bed.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree fully. So that leads me to the tech deck. So kick flip. All right. Yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Tech decking it.
Tech deck. Yeah. So it's not more. It's unwired. It's more of kind of like a neuroscience rather than an actual technology piece. But it kind of leads from the smelling thing. So I mean, I skimmed over the whole story, so this might be quicker than I think, just because I tried taking like spark notes of the whole story, and it just my phone just commingled it to a confusing mess, which I don't.
I'll find a way to draw it out.
Stumble through all of it. I'm going to try a little bit here, but basically, she's trying to cure like strokes and what is it? She was trying to cure strokes and other types of I don't know, critical human issues, Alzheimer's, I guess, and stuff like that, to relating things with chemical drugs. What do you call those? Hallucinogenics, and bringing you back to a time before it happened. It sounds like. So
okay.
So you like.
So trying to reach back to before some sort of cerebral event happened,
kind
and
of
get
like
you
control
back.
Zing.
Yeah.
And making your brain be able to remember.
Turning your PC back to a state that it was
Yes.
at, back to its, reverting to an earlier state.
Correct. So
I'm bad at
basically,
tongue, but
yeah. So basically, like, it's like, oh, I'm 60. Oh, I'm 61. I've had a stroke. Control Z. I'm 60 again. My brain is like at 60 again and remembers what it was like to live without a stroke, and train your brain. And apparently it's possible. And apparently she's doing it with like chemical MDMA and acid and LSD and such.
With acid, eh? LSD and MDMA.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's like, so basically, what happened was she was a neuroscientist, so she's a genius.
Yeah.
Studying the brain.
A cut above the likes of me, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. She's like maybe a step ahead of me.
Beyond
maybe,
us. Yeah.
But it was the pandemic that actually got her thinking about this, is because she was kind of not out of work. I guess that there's always work to be done for a brain surgeon, but the pandemic made her really be able to like kind of just take a step back and not obsess about her career. Because a lot of those people that are that smart, they're just driven towards, oh, I got to do this and that, and I'm not wasting any time, and and they never really live in the now.
I assume that those people are like, every day that I don't fix somebody's brain, there's a person whose brain goes unfixed,
Yeah,
so it's like,
anytime I'm not fixing brains,
Yeah.
I'm wasting time.
Right. So, and you know what? And thank you to those people who are out there, because dang.
Anyway,
yeah. But if this person got to have a blessed moment to step back and like look at what's going on and maybe have an idea about this sounds amazing.
She was able to during the pandemic, she was able to just like live in the now. She said she was floating through downtown Baltimore like a disembodied spirit, sitting alone at her kitchen table eating rolls of nori. I don't know. She's Danish or something like that. Filled with peanut butter and jelly. Dolan realized she'd been spending too much time worrying about her career, not enough time her simple love of science, and her sometimes outlandish seeming questions. Childlike, like, what if we did this and that? She was like kind of focusing on stuff like that. Like the one she was contemplating now. If she could reopen critical periods, what mind and life-altering changes might come about? She believed that if she could crack the code of critical periods, how to trigger them, how to do so safely, what to do once they're opened, vast possibilities awaited. People who lost their vision or hearing might regain those senses. Stroke patients might recover movement or relearn to speak. Might an adult learn a new language or musical instrument with the ease of a child? Scientists have spent decades trying to safely and easily nudge the brain into these states, with little to show for it. They managed to reopen a vision-related critical period in mice, but only by first suturing shut the animal's eyelids. Brutal. So they suturing. That's the right proper suturing. Yeah, suturing shut the animal's eyelids. Their methods were not exactly human compatible.
I don't want my eyes sewn shut. Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna give you your sight back. Yeah, you just gotta bear with us.
Oh no, they can see fine. Just the eyelids in the way. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the test of the study. Just before lockdown, Dolan had begun to think she was on the cusp of an answer, something she described as the master key for reopening critical periods. It was something indigenous cultures had recognized for millennia as possible to provide health and growth. Dolan traces her obsession with science.
Why didn't they tell us?
The master key? Yeah.
Why? They've known for centuries.
I didn't pay. Yeah.
What are you doing? We We got to figure all this shit out on our own once we finally have COVID. You guys have known for centuries. It's almost like we don't listen.
Oh, recognized for millennia. They've recognized it for millennia, but they haven't actually been able to figure it out.
Okay, all right.
They figured it. They're like, yep, that's a thing. But
it's probably that
how do we do that?
Don't
thing?
Listen.
Right. So it's her obsessions with science. That was dated when she was 8. Encountered a sea urchin on a vacation in Turkey. Okay, blah blah blah. She was a little girl once. Cool. We all were.
Oh, the old sea urchin in Turkey thing.
Yeah, that really sparked my interest.
We've all been there.
So sea urchins. I went the wrong way with it.
Turkish urchins.
Dolan's research focused on Fragile X syndrome, a neurodevelopmental disorder that is the leading identified cause of autism. She studied a specific brain receptor and found that when she tinkered with it in a certain way in a mouse model of Fragile X and autism, the animals functioned much better. People in the field thought that the finding would be life-altering. Clinical trials with human volunteers failed. I was gutted because I was so hopeful that it would work, Dolan says, but also confused because I couldn't understand why it hadn't. I messed around with this mice's brain, and now I got a bunch of people with half
and they behaved
in circles. Yeah. Why didn't it work?
I sewed their eyes shut. What? I thought it's supposed to.
So trippy, man. But this is like some high end.
No, it's actually crazy.
Crazy shit, dude. Yeah, like Dolan had been thinking about MDMA as a sort of super oxytocin, she says. Now she thinks the drug's prosocial effect was a red herring. MDMA may be associated in popular culture with hugs and love, but if Dolan had, say, put the mice through an auditory exercise rather than a social one, she suspects that the auditory critical period would have reopened instead. So basically, I could read a lot more of her digest and history and stuff like that, but she is studying on mice right now. She recognizes what she has to do because it's a certain receptor in your brain that if you can get back to it at full functioning, which you can, hypothetically, with the help of chemicals in your body and hallucinogenics, you could relearn how to do something. So it's like, it's the best way to describe it in layman's terms is Control Z. Control Z stroke, Control Z autism, not autism, Alzheimer's, Control Z anything like that, that you can like relearn how to do it again. It's like, reverting to my talking is back. Yeah.
The state you were before the cerebral event of whatever sort it is. I'm over here just a little bit terrified because I'm just like, oh my God, somebody could just do this to a healthy person potentially and just erase their entire like last decade.
So
but then again, they don't know where the thoughts are stored in a brain. So maybe they would just break the pathways between that decade and whatever it is. Because that information would be there still.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know, obviously know a computer and like how basically like with all the programs that we have and what we're using, it's all directories and it all goes back to saving in these files. It's all zeros and ones. And and I've done it before. I downloaded LimeWire when I was 10 years old. Cops don't come for me. And
they're coming. I already called them, told them he used to use LimeWire.
I'm a bad boy. Yeah. And I got so mmany viruses on my dad's computer, and my dad did not like that. He was not happy whatsoever. So I was always freaked out and tried. I thought I was a whiz kid. I might as well have whizzed on the computer and did the same sort of bad. But anyways, I got viruses and they were Trojans. So they'd be like right in there, man. They'd be hiding around zeros and ones. They would be like Trojans. They call them that for a reason. Anyways, so I'd be like deleting things thinking that, oh man, that's going to get rid of it. That's going to get rid of it. And then I end up just corrupting a bunch of different files on the computer because I deleted
the
so
Windows
many wrong
files.
Paths. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, dude.
And then so that's how I correlate this is that what happens if you like snip something, it's like, oh man, I can talk again, but I can only speak French.
Yeah, because French was in there.
If French was already in there. Yeah. I erased English.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah,
this is like the moment that this starts happening, that there's military funding going into it, or has been since the 70s. Like that's the kind of brain like fiddling that they're trying to do with people, and would that not be a great way to control somebody, is to just delete their last 5 years or
their ass,
make whatever events that you want to just be selectively gone from their mind or hidden. Maybe that's the pathway is hidden, so they just don't remember it, or they remember it a different way. That's crazy.
Wow. So
but instead of being freaky and scared about it, I like the positivity where you could potentially take somebody who's had some kind of aneurysm or a stroke or a cerebral event, and then take their brain to basically almost it's like in your mansion, you shut off the hallway that's was on fire and you just close it off and you just live over here now.
And then it's
But you're out of it and you never go there.
Yeah, kind of. But then you're also losing something. I think she's trying to make it to a point where you're not really losing anything. Like basically like Dick Clark, he had a stroke. His New Year's rockin' Eve was a little less rockin' after he had a stroke. But if he could get him back to full speech, God rest his soul. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Oh no, I don't mean that would be lost. I mean that like that memory and anything tied to that branch, right? Because your brain is branches, right? Like so to get to whatever it is that they don't want you to have, your aneurysm, wherever this event occurred in your brain physically.
Obviously
something bled, right? It burst a blood vessel in your brain, right? That's what happened. It physically happened somewhere in your brain. So wherever that is that's affected is gone. So she's got to find a way to contain that explosion. Basically, it's like if there was an explosion on a ship, right? You would contain it and not let all the water come into the rest of the place and destroy the whole ship. You shut the door essentially, and you revert back to the way you were before. Ideally, that incident happened before the fire, and now the ship continues without ever having had that fire.
Fully.
But you also don't get that experience of ever having that explosion, the fire, the people having saved it, any of that stuff. You're back before it ever happened
during that period that is linked to. Yes,
it's weird.
Yeah, no, trippy.
Very cool and trippy, and that's the kind of thing I hope that neurosurgeons and neuroscientists are busy thinking about.
And like I remember, like, I don't know, I think I was like a few years ago, because when I did my other podcast, we were talking about like Elon Musk. And he was trying to basically figure out how to get, and this is just could be bullshit, but he was trying to figure out how to get basically your conscience into like
Neuralink.
Was that what it is? Into like something, and you're basically
sure he's still trying to do this.
Yeah. You're just, what is it? You're just basically like in a robot or something, or a tin can, and
no, it's just
or it's like a saved copy of your shit, and then it's like, oh man,
ideally,
I drove off a cliff, game over. Nope. I get 3 more lives, bitches, kind of.
Ideally, it's a version of you that goes on, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a version, I guess, that you could, because I mean, I'm just a meat popsicle, you know, from The Fifth Element, Bruce Willis. I am a meat popsicle. So that's what I am. But inside is this thing that enables me to say things to you, obviously. So if we were to replace that with a copy that get him in here, get him in. Just come in. Yeah. Nope. Close the door. Anyway, thank you. But no, just leave it on the table. Thank you. There's no one here. Anyway,
there was nobody here, but we did just get fish fillet. Yeah.
No, but anyway, you know what I was saying. You know where I'm going with this. You upload your consciousness so that essentially it would be you coming out into a robot version.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever.
Or maybe into another meat popsicle.
Plug you into the fridge that has.
Yeah. Or you can buy meat popsicles.
Yeah, you
could
grow one.
Arm, I like that face.
They can grow burgers now for us, so maybe they can grow something as complex as, you know, here, just put your fingerprint down or scrape some fingernails or whatever, and now the DNA that it puts into this vending machine, you pay $8,000 to this vending machine, and it prints you a new liver out of your own DNA that you just put from your hair.
But only to the rich. All the poor saps, sorry, bye-bye.
Well,
maybe better luck next time.
$8,000 would be like not even enough for a loaf of bread at the time, so it doesn't matter. You can just get your liver reprinted. They want you to keep consuming and drinking, so livers are cheap, but bread is expensive.
But that's the twist.
I don't know why loaves of bread.
And then maybe you can get uploaded into anybody except Ice Cube, because he'll sue. Just like with the AI. Remember that for his podcast?
He'll sue if you don't pay him the right amount.
And speaking of it, did you know it's his birthday today? Ice Cube.
Hey, what up, Ice? What up, Ice Cube?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Just want to say a big shout out to Cube on his birthday.
That ties into my next segment of Today in History. So June 15th, 763 BC. Okay, I'm going to brutalize this words. I apologize.
Assyrian?
Yes. Record.
Should I read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're going to look. Assyrians record a solar eclipse that will be used to fix the chronology of the Mesopotamian history. In 1215, English King John signs the Magna Carta.
What is the Magna Carta? I thought that was the sex book.
The Kama Sutra? King George.
The Magna Carta?
King John did not
Sign the
Sign
sex
the
book.
Kama Sutra. I don't think he's ever heard of it. That's for sure.
My bad.
He probably like declared it heresy or something. Like if he knew about it.
What is this filth?
Yeah, this is
would
heresy.
have to-
Only the king may look upon it.
Go away. I'm
Go
busy.
away. I will look at this heresy and dispose of it myself. King John, you saucy gentleman of of England at Runnymede, first drafted at Archbishop. Why did you want me to read this? What was going on with this? What was
It's just a fun fact from today in history. June 15th. Just cool shit that happened today and past.
Oh, I'm up to speed now. The Magna Carta, or the Great Charter in Latin. What? Was agreed by King John of England at Runnymede near Windsor on June 1215.
I mean, maybe it's a little less exciting than I thought, but
Thank goodness for the Magna Carta. Well, that's good.
is there anything else worthwhile that happened today?
No.
No, just that. Just John William II signed the sex book.
I don't know.
That's it. Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought you were going to know something about it and be like, okay, so that brings us to our...
Well, I did read through them. There was a couple little things that were like super...
Crowley has something to say. She's getting on the mic.
Crowley's on the
Don't fall
microphone.
down. She's typing.
Oh, you're just into the whole...
She's recording stuff. Oh my God, you're opening windows and stuff.
Crowley.
There you go, sweetie.
Crowley. You always do this every single time.
Okay, we're still recording.
Anyways,
That's good.
and then I have one more little thing that I want to go into, and then I'm wrapped. Hey, Crowley, please. Thank you. Sorry, Crowley is a cat. She's my cat. If you haven't heard that, she's my cat, and she likes to mess up with the pod every single time.
She's sweet, but
Very sweet, but
she also
very
doesn't know. She likes
rascally.
to type. Yeah, rascally. She likes to type on my keyboard.
And pull his keyboard off the top. Okay, the last little segment I got here. Hopefully that wasn't too distracting and too off the rails.
They're gone.
Man, I'm trying to drive this bus down the rails as straight as I can, and my cat keeps messing me up.
Go ahead.
This LSD is just fucking me up.
Yeah, it's the...
So these are two stories of true stories that happened on a horror movie being filmed, like crazy, trippy, creepy stuff that happened on set of a horror movie while it was being filmed. So the first one is on the set of The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Dexter star Jennifer Carpenter reported that during the making of the 2005 movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, the radio in her hotel room would mysteriously turn on and off. And each time the radio would come on, it was playing the Pearl Jam song Alive. You know that song?
Oh, that's very creepy for a ghost to be playing.
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
Hi.
Just constantly. You could just place her on the ground. Oh, she's gonna back paw something. Have you picked up a cat before? We are made of AI.
That's just how I happened to grab her. Oh, hi. You grabbed it. She's biting the shit out of my arm.
Now dude, she's so weird, man. Oh, she got into the LSD. I did some neuroscience on her.
She's eating my arm.
And she
She's
wasn't
just biting
quite
my
right after that.
bicep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so other cast members claim that the radio and or television also came on for no apparent reason. And like Carpenter, they too heard the hit Pearl Jam song. The incidents bothered the cast and crew so much they eventually had to have the radios removed from their hotel rooms. Scary.
I get this cat fucking me up.
Crowley! Hey.
It's like a bite of love that she just won't let go of my arm. She was like, fucking... Okay, go out of here. Nope.
Crowley.
She's got my...
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Sorry.
All right. You're bad at being picked up, cat. There you go. Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, did you hear the whole story? Got to listen to the podcast. Basically, it was just a weird ghost that was like messing with them because they were doing. So it's basically like they have that thought that on certain like horror movies or if it's to do with exorcisms or stuff like that, that
You're
ghosts
sort of
and
invoking the
mysterious
thing?
stuff happens. Yeah.
You're sort of like attempting fate by invoking and like making fun of bad evil forces, and
Yeah,
so they're going
and
to
there's
come
like
around
a lot
you.
of. I'm not going into like the big ones like at the Twilight Zone. The dude got his head chopped off, and he had like 2 Taiwanese actors that were illegal immigrants that also died. You haven't heard about that one? I'll go into that in another episode. But yeah, helicopter went too low and buzz, and the scene was almost in the film too, and he died. Yeah,
That's all I need to know.
super messed up. But anyway, so basically, this one was the actor was in their hotel, they were chilling, and this ghost was just like, hey, and it was played a Pearl Jam song. I'm still alive. And it's just a ghost that was trying to think it
that's
was still
weird.
alive. Yeah. But then other people in the hotel room, same song. or it was just Pearl Jam that was like, because it's 2005. It's just Eddie Vedder. Just listen to my song, man. Come on, put in your movie, please.
Yeah, it's like U2. They just downloaded
just the credits. Just the second song of the credits. Come on.
They just downloaded it on everybody's phone illegally and just never got busted for it.
Yeah, so this will make them put it in their movie. Yeah.
Like, no, they just...
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Somebody set my phone alarm to Pearl Jam, and it scared the hell out of her every single morning because it kept coming on. It's the first time she ever heard of an iPod. Never...
Yeah, man, some trippy shit.
This radio keeps playing the same song. Oh my God, it must be a ghost.
Yeah, ma'am, your iPod's on repeat, ma'am.
Just trying to get you awake for rehearsal every morning.
I'm a big famous actress. Remove the radios.
Hang on, what famous actress is it again? We were just talking about celebrities.
Buzzwords, SEO.
Wait, who was it?
I don't even. Jennifer Carpenter.
Oh.
Apparently she's in Dexter as well. But the second story I have, without getting too derailed, happened from Psycho, 1960. So this one's kind of trippy. So Psycho scared the bejesus out of people back in 1960, but an incident on the movie set rivaled anything put into the finished film. While production was underway, Myra Jones, an uncredited body double for lead actress Janet Leigh, was murdered on the set. A handyman named Kenneth Dean Hunt, who was also working on the film, carried out the murder and then told police he had done it to impress director Alfred Hitchcock, claiming that he was obsessed with the notorious suspense and horror director. Following the senseless murder, Alfred Hitchcock gathered the cast and crew around him and said, "This
is what I'm talking about. This is the effort that I want you to put in." He was amazed. Impressed. I love the guy. Come on. That's my Hitchcock impression, by the way.
Yeah, very Joe Rogan. I don't even know who that would be. I don't know.
Anyway, no. I'm just kidding. I'm very upset.
Yes.
Very cross with him. And don't anybody go murdering to impress me anymore.
This is what he said. He said, "It appears we now have all the motivation we need to complete this film." That's what he said about it.
So my joke was for Rilla.
Pretty. I mean, yeah. I mean, he is a twisted dude a little bit, I guess, because
in my head he's Vincent Price, and he's like, marvelous. Now we will have the right inspiration. Don't touch the corpse. Leave it. Leave it.
I must smell it when I direct.
Let them see it.
Yeah, so fucked. Yeah, but no. So, like, yeah, just some handy guy. He's like, or handy. What? Handyman. Thank you.
Just a handy guy.
Just a handy guy.
There was a handy dude.
It was just a handy dude.
They used to call him Handy.
Just trying to be handy, and he got a little too handy with one of the stunt doubles. But yeah, no, super sad. Rest in peace. And that's all I could say about that. And it actually motivated him to finish the film. Is that Vincent Price?
Yes. I don't know how Hitchcock sounds, but I want to look it up now.
He sounds slow, and on this evening of dastardly movie pictures. I'm not good at it, but it is like he's slow and fat and robust how he talks. I mean, he also
fat and robust.
kind of like Winston Churchill-esque,
right?
With like a little bit of Vincent Price, you know? Yeah, Churchill and Price. Bam, that's Alfred Hitchcock. Just put those two.
Alfred Hitchcock is Vincent Price and Churchill. We'll storm them on the beaches. Yeah. We'll meet them.
Oh man, we nailed it.
Okay, well, I think we've descended into the depths now, and it's time to frickin' call it.
What did you have that you would like to talk about?
It's too chaotic to go off now. I don't know. I was doing some writing today, and I was thinking, like, how many people stop and think, if they were to try and invent a form of magic, how does magic work in your fantasy reality or religion even? How would you invent a religion out of thin air? People stop and think about that?
Yeah, well, are you coinciding, like you're saying the two are the same?
No.
Magic and religion?
Well, maybe in your realm, I don't know, it's fantasy, right? You can make up anything.
So like very Merlin would be mana potions and magic powder.
Okay, so that's how, lots of things
would be
work.
like
That's good.
Knee-jerk out the gates
That's
reaction.
good.
But then you could be Harry Potter-esque and have a wand.
Magic powder and mana potions would be like the way that you consume the powder or the potion and then you can do things now?
Or are you like afraid of the dark and just
or the thing itself is the magic. The thing itself has the magic property, so you're just taking this finite resource and like throwing it physically. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
See,
just
that's what I'm
hucking
thinking.
a rock at somebody.
That's a
Magic!
cool way. No, that's a cool way, right? Like,
yeah, I guess
that's
my
one way.
knee-jerk reaction.
Right,
If I
so-
had some time to think about it, I don't know. I would base it off Diablo and stuff like that, which is obviously a power from within.
Well,
a
it's
skill.
something that you like, right? But it's also a power from without, where they go drinking blue potions, right? They're like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm out of power.
I'm low
within.
on mana.
I need
Yeah.
more fireball juice, right? So
Yeah.
like that's cool. It works, and whatever mana is, it's like
There's a lot of sorcerers outside my liquor store. It's crazy.
right,
They
drink
drink
shit ton of
Fireball.
mana.
But
I need more mana.
I need more money. Kaboom. Yeah, too much. But yeah, no, I don't know. That is a crazy thought.
I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's like, what would you do? Because it's easy to, oh, this is how it works in Harry Potter. This is how it
piggyback
works
off
in
JK.
Lord of the Rings. This is how it works. Gandalf just holds up his staff and beams of light shoot out, and everything.
Rune stones?
You
Doesn't
know,
that
okay, so some
a thing?
Yeah, there's a series that I've read called the Deathgate Cycle that has two warring factions,
Right.
both of the sort of two sides of the same coin. They're the patrons and the Sartans. The Sartans do this weird dancing and language and singing, and they can evoke really powerful, crazy magic. They can transform into things and all sorts of stuff, and they can heal and stuff. And then there's the patrons on the other side that are covered in these rune tattoos that they'll like touch the runes in different patterns and like unleash crazy other magic and stuff. So it's like, and that's one of my favorite book series of all time, and it's got its own full-on system of magic and stuff, right? So a
Kinda
lot of the
created it.
stuff
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
it'll fall in to normal D&D rules most of the time, because
Right.
that seems to be the central universe that all the fantasy that everybody can kind of
it
agree
all
on.
correlates and goes back to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's language for it, so
Yeah.
we'll go back to that, right? Kind of in your mind what an ogre is or what an
Right.
elf is or whatever. Even though those things can be slightly different per universe, we'll still probably use dwarves, gnomes, ogres, whatever, and then maybe invent a few of your own, like Urukai, which are only in Lord of the Rings, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's all kinds of little cool variations, right? So
branch off.
it's just kind of fun to wonder, like, how would you come up
Zim
with
zim zelabim.
something?
Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a
Like-
magic word that makes it work? Is it?
But then the thing that is just like, okay, why can he say something and it makes fire dragons come out of the sky, and then I say zim zim zelabim and I can't get the microwave to start? Like what? Like that's you have
Part
to be
of-
born with the gift, and who's the gift giver?
Part of the
That's my book, Gift Giver. Dylan McCannell's coming out on Amazon next year,
Nice.
2024.
part of the there you go, the gift giver.
The gift.
Part
giver.
of it is to do with so this is why I have like commitment issues when it comes to writing this kind of thing. It's not going to be one way. It's cooler to me if magic comes from a lot of mysterious
Oh, so you're
places.
trying to get some notes. You're like, man, I'm really hitting a writer's block here. Help me out.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just need you to tell me.
Yeah.
Actually, if anybody wants to email me any ideas that just for interest,
Just to
no,
converse.
I've
Yeah.
got my own ideas, right?
of course,
but like
yeah.
and usually the problem is too many ideas, and so that I'm cool with
They
it coming from all
bottlenecks
over
and
the
you
place.
basically have a heart palpitation, lung explosion.
Just like the real world, there's like so many religions, so many different theologies, so many different skills,
Right.
different cultures. Essentially, what magic would look like to ancient England is different than magic would look like to ancient Brazil, which wouldn't be
Right.
called that. And none of
Ancient
those places
Brazil.
have been called that. But like, you know what I mean? So like there's different styles. Like voodoo is such a dope type of magic to
Yeah.
think about. And then
Warlocks, witch doctors.
warlocks are dope. Witches are amazing.
Yeah.
The covens of witches, that kind of subtle, awesome magic. And then just straight up wizards shooting lightning on a mountain.
Big bearded.
Elemental magic, necromancers raising the dead, all this
Golems.
different shit, right?
Yeah.
So they all can come from all the powers can come from different things. I'm nerding the fuck out right now for all my nerd homies out there, but it's
Right.
just I like
man.
it. Use
It's-
your imagination and think about like
I'm into it.
it's the kind of stuff I occupy my brain trying to think about. Make it believable, right? How could you possibly make this believable? Well, sure, on one hand, Gandalf is so powerful, right? But can he just wave his hand and make everything fixed? No. There's
No.
got to be some limitation, right? So that's half the battle, is trying to figure out the limitations of this magic, or else why doesn't everybody just undo all the plot
Can't
devices?
Mr. Marvel do that? Wait, who's?
Marvel has a hard time with their power levels because the plot devices are always getting screwed around with, right? Why does Captain Marvel get the shit kicked out of her at the end of that Endgame? Anyway, I'm not a Marvel nerd. I'm not a
Me
huge buff.
neither, man.
I just
don't know-
appreciate
I don't know much about nothing, but
I just like the movies, but
yeah, I
but they
barely
do
watched
have a
them.
bit of power levels. I know Conan O'Brien always makes fun of them because he's like, oh yes, the plot of it is, again, everything's so wrong, everything's going terrible, we're gonna lose, and then a portal opens up in the sky, and out from it drifts lazy writing, and like, it's just like the funny, so it's just like,
"How are we gonna
okay,
finish this one? I mean, they made 27,000 a year. They're gonna run out of, and it's all bad stuff. Good hero saves day. Yeah,
but sometimes we just want to see it play out.
yeah. It's
sometimes
a
we
tale
just
as
want
old
to
as
watch
time,
it
and we
play
like
out.
it. It's comforting, but
It doesn't need to be new.
I just like, I think, yeah, that's what I was like. Isn't there some technical people that could technically do whatever? But yet again, I'm not a Marvel person either. I'm not an anything person, honestly. I liked Batman when I was a kid. He was dope as hell.
My favorite.
Yeah, Batman was the word
I was
up,
a Batman
homie.
guy.
Yeah, and then
My first
Spider-Man
Halloween
and Doug.
costume, Batman.
Huh?
My first
me too.
ever.
Me too. Batman was my first, I think, ever.
Right
Batman,
there.
yeah. We were
Batman, Halloween.
yeah, and me and my twin brother were both Batmans. None of us want to be Robin.
So sick.
Screw
What's
that.
awesome is I just saw some
Pipsqueak.
twins on my Facebook group of their old post or whatever, and they are Batman and Robin, and I'm like, which one is Robin?
Yeah,
Because
who's
you
the sub?
don't have the ego.
No, we were both
Even at
Batman.
age
yeah.
4.
I am Batman. No, I am Batman, and we had it off, and then we were Pikachu the next year. Both.
You know
Both
what, though?
Pikachu. Yeah.
Kids are crazy. Sometimes a kid will just be like, no, I want to be Robin.
Yeah.
And they love Robin.
Yeah, and it's like, do it.
Inexplicable.
But well, no, we both had the ego, and we both wanted to be the man. But that's crazy. Anything else you had to interject?
I had like a whole branching conversation that I wanted to think about, because like I there's a story I really like about Tamiris, the Masagatai.
I don't know what you're saying.
I've heard it pronounced a couple ways, but Masagatai people, basically some land in Asia between, I think, Kazakhstan.
This is a real place? This is real?
Yeah, this is for real.
Okay.
This is back. I'm going to sound like an idiot, but basically, the called the father of history, Herodotus. He heard a story, and it was a story about the end of the reign of the Persian king Cyrus, the conqueror Cyrus, who swept across and conquered many, 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 many countries. Anyway, he went and he wanted this land in the middle of Asia, and he'd been widowed. His wife was dead, so he wanted to try and offer marriage to this Tamiris, who was the leader of the Masagatai, a place called Iran now, if you've heard of it.
I've heard of Iran.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the word I was trying to figure out. I was like, it's Iran. So, Jesus Christ. So anyway, the bullet point version of this story is basically he offered marriage to her. She said, I trust you really. You just want my land. And he was like, yeah, totally. So we're going to go to war with you. So he went to war with her.
Oh, he didn't even try and fake it, even
He
announce.
offered her marriage first and was like, yeah, we could do this. And she was like, you clearly just doing this for land, and that's
Busted.
not how they operated or whatever.
He's like, by the way, can I get a life insurance policy out on you? Yeah.
Right. So men only want one thing.
That's
That's
right.
land in Eastern Asia. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Take
so
that. Yeah.
she knew better.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
saw right through.
Yeah.
What a dog.
Yeah,
So
what a dog. What
anyway,
a boss bitch.
they said basically like there's a whole thing to the story where you can pull back from the river and meet us on our side, or we can, we don't want the river to mess up the battle. So what happened is Cyrus pulled a trick. He sent in a small Persian army and basically got destroyed. That little small force got destroyed by the Masagatai.
Suicide bombers.
Pardon?
Suicide bomber style?
No. What?
Like the Persian
No.
people that were going just
They're
basically.
decoy. So they
got destroyed, but they got killed.
yeah, not suicide bomber style.
Oh.
No, there's no. Anyway,
Yeah.
they just got listen. So Cyrus sent a small Persian force in to fight the Masgatonian army, and they fought and got sacrificed. Basically, they got destroyed.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
And Cyrus left a bunch of wine and goods and stuff there on purpose, a giant feast worth of stuff, bunch of wine. They realized that their countenance is not going to be as strong, so they're not going to be able to handle their wine, right? So they get them hammered by their festivities. They think they've won this battle. They get hammered. Then Cyrus goes in with his full-size army and captures that whole army. Tamiris' son was among the captured. When he wakes up, he realizes, oh my God, I've been captured. Like, Mom, please don't send the whole army over here. Don't surrender to this guy on my behalf. And to prevent his mother from surrendering, because she's going to, he kills himself. The son kills himself in captivity. And Tomyris is basically, okay, well, there's any chance of peace is now out the window. So the story is that they fought and she killed Cyrus. Basically, he was killed in battle or whatever, and she took the head from his corpse and decapitated it and basically said this famous speech where she said, if you're so thirsty for blood, then you shall drink it, or I'll give you your fill or whatever. You shall have your fill. And put his head in this wineskin full of blood and threw it in the river or whatever it was, the story goes, right? So just savagery, right? Because of her son.
Yeah.
She tried to, bargain with him to get the son back and all this stuff before. Anyway, butchering the story. But it's funny because if you look up Tomyris, you can see a Disney rendition somebody's done of her. Yeah. And it's so awesome. It's like Tomyris. It looks so awesome, like this like Disney princess version of her. I'm just like, that is awesome. She's got like the wineskin in her hand. It's just like, oh my God.
Backstory's pretty heavy.
Pretty badass. Just like a lot of Disney.
So it ties in with...
The reason I was going to talk about this story is I was going to study it more and I was going to be more prepared for this. But then I read a comment on it that basically said, this is something Herodotus just heard. It was a story he heard. How could this possibly be true? And I thought like, okay, well, I was all ready to believe it because it's awesome. It's an awesome story.
Right.
Of, girl power. She stopped Cyrus the Conqueror. But he's like, how on earth could they? This is like minimum the amount of forces that Cyrus could have had. Here is what, it's just, he starts laying out
logic,
every possible thing. And I'm just like, well, how could we possibly know if not for, these facts of logic and the supposition, I suppose this is the way it must have gone. Or we just have people believing in the story of Tomyris and it's a great story. So it's here now. Even if it's not real, I'm telling it. I've heard it. I'm thinking about it more so than it's like the victor writes the
how history goes.
Right? So what I'm saying is like, you could write anything. And the fact of the matter is only a fraction of people are going to check the comments below and go, is this really real even? Most people are just going to go
blind faith.
There's like 5 videos that of people just talking about what Tomyris did.
Cool. So that's I know that's
so
actually
it's
really
but it's not
thing.
even really something that necessarily happened. Although I kind of got irritated when I was looking at it. I was like, oh fuck this guy. Don't disprove it. No, I want this story to be real.
Shade smoking, and he's like, well, actually.
So what is that? That moment right there is what I want to talk about. Why is it that I got a little bit irritated when he started to disprove it? I'm like, damn it, my cool story that I was going to tell is now not real. So people, this is why people are they will go against truth because it makes them angry. Because they just really wanted to believe the cool story about Tomyris. And now you fucking came in with your stupid facts about reality when really what's important at the end of the day? The dope story that we remember? So like this is the whole premise.
Podcast that night.
Right. It's the whole premise. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole premise of 1984, Orson Welles, right? Yeah. Where they're just like it doesn't really matter. Like what you're not understanding is that it doesn't matter what is real or what is the truth because the truth is what we say it is. If we say, the government, we say, this happened, and we write it in all the history books, and every history book everywhere all over Earth says that's it. That it happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Because now we're conducting ourselves in the future as though that happened. Well, so it affects.
I've heard stories of dated textbooks with misinformation being taught in schools that took forever to get out of circulation.
Yeah,
because it was just taken as gospel.
Yeah,
and it was not wrong, or it was just really like based off of like racism and it was obviously whatever. Yeah. So it was like, oh yeah, the white people conquered or this that. I think they had all the
it's white people history is what it is. That's what we were taught. It's like you were taught the white people history. 100%. You barely touched upon the
like the
schools,
First Nations.
Man.
I'm trying to think of the damn
residential
word
is the word I want. Residential schools.
Right.
I don't know why I can't remember any words today, but I just am tired. But they just touched upon it in school, you know, like just enough to blah, blah, blah. Like they talked about some pretty atrocious things about World War II and World War I and stuff like that, about how Canada did a great job and we should be proud of being Canadian because of the wars and things like that. Even though I didn't really have a hand in it, I suppose I'm very proud. I'm thankful. Yeah. I don't know about proud because I didn't do anything. So proud. Thankful for the freedoms we have. Anyway, we're flying all over the place here. I tried to keep this podcast
I understand
concise.
What you're saying, and basically we'll wrap it up in that point that you have is, which maybe we can talk in a little bit.
Talk about it again.
Again, in a further episode. But basically, the fact of the matter is, like, I'm huge candidate of that. Like half the shit that I've just announced as gospel on this podcast, I looked online. I mean, it's very reliable sources as far as that goes, like Wired and such like that. But I'm not necessarily, I don't think anybody does. I don't think too many people fact checked everything to an umpth degree.
If
it's
enough
a cool
people
story
say the
and I'm
thing,
like, cool, I'm going to talk about this with my friend on my podcast.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, I'm not going to say I'm going to be spitting gibberish all the time on the podcast. Like, I have some credibility here.
I'll not lie.
Like Reader's Digest. You know, I only go to like admirable websites, nothing like fake news, theonion.com.
Well, we can all kind of see when something
Charlie
is fake.
Sheen is a girl, or whatever.
This is why I wanted to like clarify that this is a story that Herodotus heard. This is the Herodotus could have been a group of people for all we know. He's considered one guy, right? It's a long time ago, and really just whatever little clues we have into the past is the picture that we assume is the whole picture.
It was whoever wrote it down, and how we take what they said as what it is, because that's all we have.
You got to look for the core truth in it, and if enough people sort of say it,
And if you, is this believable? Is this possible?
Celebrities. We talk about celebrities.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Dirty
diapers. Buses ride on train tracks.
I was talking. Oh yeah. Taylor Swift's worst performing album is outselling Kanye West's best performing album after he said that he made her famous.
Oh shit, that's not a good look, dog. And happy birthday, Ice Cube.
Sorry, Ye, can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't take her down.
No, man, he had it all and now he has nothing.
Those Swifties are bloodthirsty. I don't think he has nothing. I think he's doing pretty damn.
Billions of dollars.
He's doing okay. Except for, wait a minute, didn't people say his girlfriend looks like that comedian dude?
Jim Carrey?
Yeah. That's right. You heard it here first.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
People, yeah.
That's actually,
you heard it here first.
I'm writing that
Kanye
down.
West's girlfriend, Sarah Jessica Parker, looks like Jim Carrey.
Perfect.
New take. That's what we've been saying here on the TRMF podcast. Thank you for listening to us talk all about celebrities.
And crazy stuff.
Your homework is to go think of a magic system or a theological system in which a fantasy realm.
And if you don't understand what that means, think of a smell that you like.
Okay, I like it.
Think of a smell that you like and come at us.
Think of a simpler time.
Think of a simpler time when all you had to do was eat hot dogs on the baseball field behind the bleachers. That was it. Sounds a little weird, but yeah, I mean,
can
or
hear
on
country
the bleachers.
music coming in right now.
Yeah,
I like
good
it.
times. So
I've never enjoyed country music so much as this song that's in my head right now with the sunset and.
Garth Brooks was my daddy.
Don't make me leave that place, Dylan.
Well, we got to. All right.
Thanks, folks.
Y'all take care.
Peace and love and stuff.
Love and peace. Bye. If anybody asks, tell them these are my friends. You are our friends. These are my friends. We are your friends. You are our friends. These are my friends.
TRMF. These are my friends. Peace out.